Welcome to today's 5-minute Bible study, the Acts of the Apostles. Today we're in Acts chapter 24. You might recall that Paul is now under the custody of the Roman governor Felix. He's been sent to Caesarea, the capital of the province, and there he will stand trial. Now his accusers on the Sanhedrin were told to appear before the Roman governor to present their charges, and they do. We'll pick up the reading, chapter 24. It's 5 days later. The high priest Ananias, he went down to Caesarea. He took some elders with him and a lawyer named Tertullus. He's the one who would present the case. And they brought their charges against Paul before the governor. Now listen to what Tertullus says. See what the charges are. He says, verse 5, "We have found this man to be a troublemaker. He stirs up riots among the Jews all over the world. He is a ringleader of the Nazarene sect. He even tried to desecrate the temple, so we seized him. By examining him yourself, you will see and learn the truth about these charges we are bringing." Now you notice they make 3 charges against Paul that will resonate with Roman authorities. First, they say he is a troublemaker. He stirs up riots among the Jews. Now the Romans' primary consideration is to maintain the peace, the Pax Romana. They want peace everywhere. Anyone who stirs up trouble, anyone who's seen as a troublemaker, anyone who starts riots is in their minds guilty of serious crimes. So they charge Paul with being a troublemaker, a disturber of the peace all around the empire. They say, investigate. You'll see he's traveled all around the empire stirring up riots among Jewish populations. Then second, they accuse him of an illegal religion. They say he is a ringleader of the Nazarene sect. They are describing the Christian movement as the Nazarene sect, Jesus being identified as a Nazarene. Now you remember in Roman Empire, you could practice religion freely as long as it was a legal religion. But some religions were deemed illegal. Judaism is a legal religion. But they are saying Paul is not Jewish. He leads some kind of sect, some kind of cult of the Nazarenes. This is an illegal religion, and he should be stopped. That's the second charge. And then the third charge is he tried to desecrate the temple. This was that charge that had started the riot in Jerusalem when some had accused Paul of bringing a Gentile into the temple precincts. That is illegal. The Romans allow only Jews to go into the temple precincts. So they've got 3 charges against Paul. He's a troublemaker, he preaches an illegal religion, and he desecrated the temple. He brought in a Gentile. The other Jews, it says, joined in the accusation. They said all these things are true. Then Paul is given a chance to respond. Verse 12. He says, "My accusers did not find me arguing with anyone at the temple. I was not causing the disturbance. I was not stirring up a crowd in the synagogues anywhere in the city. And they cannot prove to you these charges they are now making." In other words, all this stuff about being a troublemaker, just investigate. You'll see none of it's true. "However, I will admit that I worship the God of our ancestors as a follower of the way, which they call a sect." And that's what he says. Yes, I am a follower of this way, but it's not a sect. This is actually the fulfillment of Judaism. See what Paul is saying? Christianity is a legal religion because it is the fulfillment of everything that is in the Old Testament, everything that Judaism prophesies. I believe everything that is written in the law and in the prophets. In other words, I'm a good Jewish believer. But Jesus is the fulfillment of all the hopes of Judaism. He says, I have the same hope in God as they have, that there will be a resurrection of both the righteous and the wicked. So I strive always to keep my conscience clear before God and man. I believe Jesus rose from the dead. That has always been the hope of Judaism, Paul says. I am following the way of our ancestral faith as it is fulfilled in Jesus, the Messiah, who rose from the dead. So Paul affirms his belief in Jesus, but he shows it is legal because it is a fulfillment of all that is in Judaism. What is the outcome of this trial? Verse 22. Now Felix, that's the Roman governor, he was well acquainted with the way, so he adjourned the proceedings. Now Felix has been the governor of Judea for a number of years now. He is well acquainted with Jewish religion. He's well acquainted with the Christian movement. That's what it means when it says he's well acquainted with the way. We're told a little bit later that he even married a Jewish princess, a woman by the name of Drusilla. So he knows these questions really well. He understands what's going on. He adjourns the proceedings and says, when Lysias the commander, that's the commander in Jerusalem, when he comes, I will decide your case. So he ordered Paul to be kept under guard, but some freedom was given him. Friends could attend to him. Now, as we read on, it says that Felix liked to talk to Paul. He would bring him in from time to time and talk about faith in Jesus Christ. But he was not willing to let him go. Notice verse 26 of the chapter. He was hoping that Paul would offer him a bribe. He had probably heard about that relief offering that Paul brought for the Jerusalem Christians. So he hoped maybe Paul might have some resources for me, hoping for a bribe. So he sent for Paul frequently and talked with him, but he kept him in prison. 2 years passed. Felix was succeeded by Porcius Festus. And because Felix wanted to grant a favor to the Jews, he left Paul in prison. Now, it seems pretty clear that Felix understood Paul was innocent and there was no crime here, but he was not willing to release him. He's trying to curry favor with the Jewish establishment. So he keeps Paul in prison for 2 years, simply waiting. Talks to him often, but does not free him. Hoping for a bribe, but it's not coming, of course. After 2 years, another Roman governor is put in place. Felix is relieved. We know from Roman sources this is the year AD 59. So in AD 59, it's almost 3 decades now into the Christian movement. Paul has been in prison in Caesarea for 2 years. His case has not been disposed, although the Roman governor obviously knew he was innocent. But now a new governor, Festus, is in charge, and things are about to take a turn for Paul. We'll see that in our next session together. Hope you have a great day today, and I'll see you next time in our 5-minute Bible study in the Acts of the Apostles.